Oh, I'm Phil Liggett. Well, you know, it was 4 years ago when we started bringing you these exclusive pictures of this famous race here in northern France, the 170 miles between Compiègne and Roubaix. And during that time, we've seen the world's greatest riders in action. Some have prevailed and actually arrived at Roubaix, but the majority certainly haven't. They've failed and literally fallen on the roadside of the cobblestones of northern France. It isn't quite the oldest single-day race in the world, but Paris-Roubaix has always been the one that has offered the ultimate sporting challenge. For almost 100 years, the race has been a battle of survival, leaving only a few to fight out the finish in Roubaix. The image carried by all who ride or watch this race is this, one of broken bodies and of broken bikes. Men who are totally committed to prove that to merely finish is worthy of the honour.
Phil, I'm thanking you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from the Market Square in Compiègne for this 2020 Paris-Roubaix. Today we will see 4 Belgians fight it out. Mizel, De Vlaeminck, Marx, and of course Tom Boonen, to see who is the greatest Belgian classics rider of all time. You can hear the helibirds above me, and the race is about to start. So, if we now look at the geography of this great race, a map of France. At the north we have Paris, slightly north we have Compiègne, and then the route goes from Compiègne to Roubaix, almost forming a straight line, with some very dangerous sectors in between, most notably Arenberg and Carrefour de l'Arc.
Van der Aarden is back to defend his title, and with 3 major wins already this year, he's again a favourite. The last rider to win twice in succession was the Italian Francesco Moser 8 years ago. Sean Kelly, the Irishman who's been the world's #1 since rankings were first given in 1983, is also back. Win number 3 is on his mind.
We hebben hem zoveel mogelijk willen beschermen, maar dat is toch onmogelijk. Als hij nerveus begint te worden, dan ben ik opgepast.
Alles op toon wordt gezet.
Johan, I see you wear sunglasses. I am thinking that you're hiding your eyes because you've had a good pre-race bottle charge, no?
I hope so.
All of France expects much from this man. First to arrive in the square this morning, Roland Fignon is expected to be the first to Roubaix as well. The 2-time winner of the Tour de France is showing signs of his halcyon days since recovering from injury. He's much on his mind, including his new hairstyle.
Alors, qui n'a pas son petit souvenir?
Que nous sommes en train de faire, mais la forme affichée.
Avec la casquette en cadeau, 10 francs seulement là, toute
So on this fine spring morning, everyone has optimistic hopes, but it's an illusion that cannot disguise the chaos and danger over the next 7 hours.
Paris-Roubaix, vous le savez, des ennuis de santé l'ont éloigné du succès dans Paris-Nice. Eh bien, peut-être Bernard Raymond Poulidor, vainqueur de la Flèche Wallonne de Milan-San Remo, 20 fois champion du monde des grimpeurs, 2 fois.
Messieurs, dames, petite casquette, 5 francs.
Yeah, it's true. It's a shit race. It's a shit race. It's true. Eh? My father said to me, I don't like the race. It's raining. It's dangerous, but now it's not raining. But it's a real shit race. But I like it. It's good. I'm like the Cassé de Plavé, and yeah, it's special. It's one time in a year, and all the Belgian riders like it. Yeah, it's
Hasardeux que nous sommes en train de faire, mais la forme affichée par le coureur dans Tirrenia Adriatico et en particulier dans le Tour des Flandres, eh bien laisse parler que la condition physique de Roger De Vlaeminck est peut-être à son summum.
The riders looking very nervous now as we are about to start. 29 cobble sectors lie ahead in this hell. The weather looks not good. The first sector is at Toiville, and this year the Arenberg Trench is back in again at sector number 19. Other notable sectors are at Orchy, and at Monzon-Pévelé, Sector 11, and of course the dreaded Carrefour de l'Arbre, the last place where maybe Boonen will launch a winning move.
Only 26 miles after leaving Compiègne, the attacks begin. Almost by tradition, a group escapes early. It rarely succeeds, but that doesn't stop them trying. And one of those who wants to try is American Roy Nickman, who quickly slips into the first real attack of the day. And the lead quickly grows to 2 minutes in as many miles. It's obvious what the pack thinks. Let them go.
Oh, thank you, Phil. Yes, this move is at 2 minutes, but it is not dangerous. I'm looking at the people in this move, and I do not see anyone who has any human growth hormone in them, or even some of them maybe on some small amphetamines or some tablets. But the main protagonists, they are still in the bunch. Merckx, De Vlaeminck, Boonen, and Museo.
Oh, there's a crash here, and that's a Dimension Data rider who's gone down. This has come at 213 kilometres still to go. Andre Greipel that was, and he was on the side of the road, and it looked like he might have been changing wheels with a teammate.
I'm noticing that wheel change, Phil. Yes, I am with the brake here. I'm counting 1, 2, 3. There are 13 riders in this brake. It's not a dangerous move. There is no one of any quality in the brake. BigPlate never went for these early brake. Some of the small sponsor teams have riders in this brake, but again, no one of any consequence. I think this will come back.
Well, they're around about 18 miles from the Forest of Orenburg at the moment as we go back into the body of the peloton. And this is what it's like here as the riders at the back are distinctly disadvantaged now.
Phil, there is a lot of dust. Now, maybe you're seeing the pictures, you can hardly see the riders. A lot of very dangerous riding, riders switching. We're now back with the brake, and the 13 riders are strung well out of this car. Oh, there's been a crash. Two 7-Eleven riders, they seem to, stupid dogs have crashed together. I'm seeing now one rider is giving the wheel to another. What is that? Well, riders are jogging now. Oh no, he is waiting for another wheel.
Came here to help pave the way for teammate Sean Kelly, but is now blazing his own trail. This group of opportunists are still building their lead at a time when the pack should be reeling them in. Without a leader either, the front group are surviving better than could ever have been imagined.
No, Phil, I do not think you're right. This brake is collapsing. It is strung out. There are 1 or 2 riders lining it out. I think it will be over soon.
Laurent Fignon is perplexed. All the men he fears are here, but with every turn of the pedals, others are gaining ground. Sean Kelly searches for help, hoping for the first sign of a reaction.
Oh, I couldn't read any number and I couldn't see his face. That's how it happened. Nasty fall, straight off the bend. There's a crash and there it is. It's Eisel's gone down, I think. Bernie Eisel. And there's another crash here, and there it is, and this time they've blocked up a Sky Rider.
Kofidis man. And I think that's Sagan.
Sagan has been involved in that. Whether he come off, I don't know, but he's getting going again.
Phil, we have a big crash. Peugeot rider is lying down. He's in a lot of pain. I am also thinking that 7-Eleven are having problems. The young American rider Le Monde is not in good form. We asked Sean Kelly earlier before the race started, who were his danger men today, and did he fancy himself for this win?
Thank you, BigPlate. Well, I'm going for the bonification and the sprint. because it's up and down a bit, but as long as that prick Eric van der Arden isn't anywhere near me, I'd be delighted, so I will. Sure, I like going over the stones, used to eat them for breakfast when I went to school, and sure, how hard can it be? Like, sure, it's just you ride your bike, you go for the win. I'm not falling in this pool, am I? And that should be it. I can't wait to put my hands above the head like I did in '84. Oh, it was great, and that fella Van der Arden, sure, look, he was nowhere near me.
This breakaway, started by riders the French call domestiques, men who help others to win, has developed into a serious attack that could never have been foreseen by the favourites. Now, the biggest obstacles for these men are not the riding legends behind, but the cobbled legend ahead. The Forest of Arlenberg awaits. Race for over 3.5 hours, the 13 surprise leaders approach the main test, a forested corridor of misery that welcomes wheeled traffic only once a year. To lead over these terrible roads is an advantage, and Roy Nickman, young in years and mature in mind, leads the high-speed charge to the Forest of Arlenberg with 100 miles completed. Still 6 minutes behind, the main pack rushes at the forest at almost suicidal speed, panicked by the lead of the breakaways. For them, the dangers are magnified tenfold. One rider has fallen. Like a house of cards, the rest collapse. As they now, it's every man for himself. Georgie Hincap, he's just passed through. He's got a good position at the front of the peloton. So he's motivated and he's not making any mistakes yet. And it could be every reason to think the winner will come from this group. Sanders there, Matt White just hanging on by his braces, and I think the other two have gone off the back. As we go back to the main field now, they are driving on. George Hincap, he's got himself right to the front.
Phil, I'm thanking you again. Yes, Museo and Taffy are on the front of this arrowhead going through the forest. I cannot see Bortolami. I'm thinking maybe that his DS has handed him a tube and a pump to get back to the finish on his own.
Dancing to a tune that few in this group have ever heard before, Alan Piper continues to pull the leaders along. The Arlenberg Trench has again begun to play its part in the race to Roubaix.
That's Sagan, completely out of control. He's got back onto the pavé, but I think he was balked a little bit and he lost his line, but he's recovered.
There is carnage in this trench. I'm not seeing much. I think maybe I'm seeing Backstead. Maybe you can see it better than me. The helibirds are making a lot of dust.
This is why the crowd has come here. Reputations don't count for much on a road that has survived since... And the face of Albert Ackermann is sure to keep the reputation of Paris-Roubaix intact. One of the 273, so we're inside. 100 kilometres to go to the finish. There's Ballerini, another great classic rider. Not only having won this race twice, but he is so consistently in the top 6 of all of the world's classics. He knows how to read a race, and he's got the strength to put it home.
Roger De Vlaeminck, qui tout à l'heure avait tenté une échappée, il a été presque été rejoint par le groupe de tête, mais comme il manquait encore...
In fact, it's proving a little bit too hard for Wesley Creed here, who started the whole thing. He's found he's been joined by 3 express trains here. 37 kilometres have been covered on the pavé. There is Sagan riding himself now to try and reach his teammate up front.
The bunch are coming up with them. They know, Phil, 3 things. They know that the die is cast, they know the game is up, and on this Easter Sunday, Phil, they know that their goose, this goose, is well and truly cooked.
Sagan arrived. Sagan is here.
Phil, this is a dangerous move. Sagan is pulling away with a very elite group, trying to bridge across to his teammate.
Driving also as close as he can to that grass line to avoid the cobbles themselves.
Now the favourites must recover from their shell-shock date. Sean Kelly, the winner twice in 4 years, has spent the day so far worried about his usual rivals. But now his thoughts have to be elsewhere. This select group of riders is well known to Sean Kelly, but no one, it seems, wants to make the move with him. And even Fignon, the rider who concerns Kelly the most, is not yet willing to take up the chase.
And here comes the run from Gilbert, through the inside, full speed ahead, and the boy in black won't chase him, they're on the same team. Sagan has gone after him, so too Sepp Van Mark locks onto the wheel of the man who won this race a year ago. Gilbert had to go here, this is chance to win.
Et ben Dominique en a profité pour repartir, et surtout il en a profité pour repartir accompagné de son coéquipier.
Big attack from the Lion of Flanders himself, Johan Museeuw. Phil, I'm asking you one question. What do you get if you cross a bat from China, a top classics rider, and a man with a lisp? Johan Museeuw. And now he has launched a massive attack. Phil, Sean Kelly has seen this dangerous move by Museeuw and is counter-attacking. He is moving away with a select group to try and close this gap. Phil Museeuw's face is a study in deep concentration. He is now on his own on a dangerous stretch. Oh, disaster, Phil! It's a puncture, and he has no team car. He is a Mavic service team. Oh, this is terrible. Look at these clowns. Oh, Phil, I have seen green bikes change wheels quicker than this. This is a disaster. He is losing his lead. I am not liking this one bit. He is remounting. The Mavic clown gives him a push, and he is back.
Well, this is a very good move, and it had to come sooner or later, and you can see now other riders are scrabbling over the gap here. They might pull a group away of 5 or 6 men, and if they could do that, this race is not yet won by Johan Museeuw. And George Hincapie is having to do it himself now, so at the end of the day, the team leader has to use his legs to the best avail, and George is now giving it his best shot. Sorry about the pictures, the cobblestones are upsetting our cameras right now.
Tom Boonen has now gone to the front with one teammate. I think he is opening a very nice advantage. We need to see it is a nice gap. There's a rider chasing. It's Eddie Merckx. Eddie Merckx is doing this chasing. He is a very strong, solid rider. He may be able to close this gap. Oh, who is this? It is Roger De Vlaeminck in this line out. Oh, Phil, big crash. At least 2 quick step riders down. I think let us look at here's the replay. A rider reached for a caffeine suppository and he has taken 4 to 5 riders out of this bunch. This is very dangerous. Phil, I'm seeing inside one of the team cars, Barry Monaghan looks to be driving it, and I'm thinking maybe Frank Campbell could be in the back. I'm just waiting for the camera to pan towards the back seats. Ah yes, Mr. Frank is in the back seat. Now Phil, a strong lead group has just 12 seconds advantage. 3 riders. I'm looking for the Swiss hide-and-seek champion. Ah, there he is, Fabian Cancellara. Oh, Phil, crash, crash.
It had a bite in it there, and now Hushoff, who almost fell, recovered well, and the God of Thunders raced up behind Tom Bonan. But I'll tell you what, when Tom Bonan hit the front here, there was an enormous cheer in the stadium in Roubaix. Well.
Boonen is reacting to that crash of Hushoff and is now going back to the car. He is taking a gel. He is asking his DS where will he dump his gear before he gets to the final and the drug checks.
Kelly, sometimes referred to as the cannibal, still refuses to give up, setting a pace that no longer carries any hope of saving this day.
Merckx is refusing to give up in this endless game of ladders and snakes. Look at this acceleration, a monstrous attack. He is 90 seconds back from the Boonen group.
Riders falling near the finish, including Kelly, who was pushed back into the fray too late to stop the Belgian superstar.
Phil, big attack from Boonen. He is trying to get away from Van Mark. He does not want the sprint in the velodrome, I'm thinking. He wants to get to this velodrome on his own. He is not wanting to throw the dice, to open the sandwiches in the picnic basket and find that they have all been eaten. Eddie is a sad sight. It is all over for Eddie. He should have ridden a bicycle with deep section wheels. In fact, all of this group are on the wrong bicycles. But now, Phil, we see the final game. The denouement. The game of mouse and cat. Phil, the trio have entered the velodrome. An Italian, a Swiss and a Belgian. It is pasta and gondolas against army penknives and secret bank accounts, up against very strong beers and mustachioed detectives. Phil, the game of mouse and cat, it is starting now, but I do not think it will take the great Hercule Poirot to solve this mystery. I am thinking that Tom Boonen is in a good place. He is about to unleash an enormous sprint. Balan is stupidly starting the sprint. Big Tom, here comes, 1800 watts. Oh, Phil, look at this move. Oh, he is on the outside of the bank. Oh, he has won this race, surely. Tom Boonen is about to be crowned King of Paris-Roubaix. Arenberg now lies silent. The bodies have been moved. And once again the small birds tweet.
En daarachter de twee verkloppen. En Bonne heeft duidelijk gemaakt dat hij niet uitgewassen is zoals Hosten.